Hello everybody, here is a little presentation about text annotation. I think most of you probably do it, especially at this level, but let me go through this little video for you. Text annotations by teachers. We all have different symbols that we use when we're reading so that things jump out at us if we look at them at a later date. So what is text annotation? It's while we're reading, we're marking the pages. We're marking the important information, text meanings or the key details, and then we're writing down the ideas or questions that we may want to answer later. So basically we're writing as we go, as we read, excuse me. Now a lot of people like to use a highlighter, but it's frowned upon because sometimes using a highlighter can just become more confusing. Let me go to the next point here. Harvard University did a study and it said that using highlighters is not good, and they recommend that their freshmen do not use the highlighters. So here's the research. First of all, throw away the highlighter in favor of a pen or a pencil. This way you can write as you go. Highlighting can actually distract you from the business of learning and dilute your comprehension. So if you're highlighting here, first of all, it's confusing to me. Maybe if you highlight and then write something above it, note to yourself, annotate. But again, studies show that just using highlighters alone can be confusing. Here, note-taking activities, they help us with our reading comprehension. And there was a study that showed that 21 of the 23 studies showed that people who note-take or annotate have a 91% better comprehension. Here are some different styles, the way people annotate. Yours may be different. First of all, some people put brackets around important information and then they write in the margin stuff they want to remember. I would do this especially if it's a quote you want to use or a paraphrase you want to use in one of your essays. Next, if this and this connect, draw lines to it, draw arrows to it, and then they underline important stuff. But again, if you're underlining, it's like highlighting. If you don't write something in the margins, you're going to have to reread everything you've underlined. So please write notes to yourself. Here they're outlining in the margins. So maybe if we're reading, maybe this were an essay. Intro, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, the main ideas. This way you've just summarized and outlined the whole page. That way in a week when you go back to it, you don't need to read the whole thing. You just need to look at your notes. And here, I do this a lot. If you look at my notes or articles that I read, I'm always writing in the margins. Another annotating is some people will circle words that they don't understand and then maybe write the definition right next to it. Another, some people put asterisks or stars next to stuff that they find fascinating or unreal. Exclamation points. I can put a frown if I disagree with something. We all have our own style choices. I know that a lot of students rent their books so they can't write in them, but you can use sticky notes. So label everything with sticky notes, or if you have to, copy the page. Or if it's an online book, what I do is I copy and paste the parts I want. But I also make sure I put the author where I found it. That way I can give credit so I'm not plagiarizing. But there are alternatives to writing in the book if you're renting it or you cannot write in the book itself. Here, reading with your pen palette. This is it shows you different ways that people use codes or text to annotate. It's kind of like it's very similar to the reading with a palette document that I gave you, where it gives you different symbols and what that symbol would mean. But I also know that we all have our own symbols that we like to use when we're annotating. Here, annotation slows down reading but increases comprehension. It's true. If you're annotating and you're really reading it deeply, it's going to take you longer than someone who just goes over it very quickly. However, later on, you'll be able to look at the annotated articles or chapters and then study from those. The students who rushed through it, they're going to have to reread. So take your time. It does take longer in the beginning, but it does pay dividends in the end. So I hope this helps. Please, please, please annotate what you read, not just in my English class, but all of your classes. Then you can go back and save yourself time, and you'll have a better understanding of the topic overall. Thanks.